I wanted to share with you some of the calculators we have on our website that people can use, and it's often a really good tool to use to find out about expenses, how much a loan's going to cost you, all that sort of thing. It is Louise from the Property Education Company coming to you from, can you believe, the Philippines, and the absolutely glorious Cebu Shangri-La Hotel. Look at, have a check of that. How beautiful is this place? Have you ever seen? I think it's just like paradise here. And really excitingly, amazingly, last week we had some people watching from the UK. Hello, amazing people. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm just wondering where in the world you might be watching from. If you've got any questions, pop it in the chat if you'd like us to answer. We're happy to help. Now, one of the things I have found is I wanted to share with you some of the calculators we have on our website that people can use. And it's often a really good tool to use to find out about expenses, how much a loan's going to cost you, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to switch to presentation mode here. I am now sharing our calculators. Now, this is from our website, propertyed.com.au. And as you can see, there's a stream of calculators down the side here, from a budget planner, which is just a really useful tool. It gives you your net salary and all the living expenses itemized, so that helps you put it all together in one. And what's good about this is these are the same categories used by most lenders. So you can actually work out and prepare yourself. So when we ask you what living expenses do you have, you've got a better idea. And it's a great way to get it, manage this process, because at the moment, lenders are increasing the HEM. HEM is the household expenditure index that they use to justify how much you are generally spending at a minimum. And they are increasing most months at the moment. So what was the basic HEM level that they used at the start of the year is a lot higher, and it's going up every month at the moment. So you need to be very aware of that when we're putting in an application for you. We're very aware of covering off the minimum expenses that the banks expect. So often I've rarely found anyone who estimates their living expenses correctly. I've had about 3 clients in my life, God bless those, who absolutely knew to the dollar where their money went, but most people don't. I get it. But we all manage. That's the amazing thing. But it's good to actually sometimes get a grip on this just for preparing for an application when you're going for a loan. Next thing though, under these calculators, I want to share down to the loan repayment calculator. And the reason why this is useful is when you're preparing to get a loan and you're looking at it, you want to understand how much it's going to cost you. So say you're getting a loan for $750,000. If it's an owner-occupied loan, the minimum you'd want to put in at the moment is around, for an average, and it's not the high side, it's from 6%. There's some high fives up until usually 6.2, but maybe a little bit higher. So I would use as an interest rate to give you a fair idea of what your repayment might be. Put it at 6.45 or 6.5% for an owner-occupied loan, and use 7.5% for an investment loan. They are on the high side, but that gives you good coverage so that you know what you're prepared for those expenses and what they might be. And then you can put, well, am I going to repay it monthly? Generally, we do a loan term over 30 years, so you can do shorter, but I would always say to people, use the longest term available so you can actually put extra money into your loan to repay it off. But if you're not forced to, it means that that lower repayment can help you when things might get a bit difficult. Because if you set the repayment, say you go for a repayment over 20 years, you're stuck with that repayment for the life of the loan. And so you're really smashed if things get hard for you. But know that you can always repay extra. The only time you can't repay whatever you like on a loan is when they're fixed. So most standard variable loans, you can repay as much as you like as soon as you get the loan. Repayment then, set it, is it monthly, fortnightly or weekly? We usually recommend if people are paid fortnightly, it's good to set the repayment for fortnightly. And that helps with, you're actually paying extra off the loan over the course of 12 months because, as you know, there are 26 fortnights, but only 12 months. So on that 26, you're actually repaying extra. It's not that you're getting a better offer. It's just that you are actually paying more into the loan. And because you're doing that more regularly, you're paying it down sooner. So those little tips can help. We find it much less of effect from weekly, but if you're paid weekly, pay your loan weekly. It can work that way. And any fees, you might have a fee that's annual or $10 a month is usually the fees that are applicable. And then it gives you an idea of what a repayment might be. So these are good to get an idea of, can I afford this loan at this level? Oh, do I want to pay another nearly $5,000 a month for this loan? Well, maybe I don't. Then I'm going to reduce. How much do I feel comfortable paying? Oh, maybe 4,000 is a bit more palatable. Well, then I'm only going to borrow 650, not 750. And so I want you to get that into your mind. Do the homework first for yourself and use these calculators because they're so valuable. Also, there's ones that include if you have money in offset, showing the extra fortnightly repayment, loan comparisons. But I want you to know anytime you have a question about any of these, I'm happy to work through these with you. So you just book a time with us and we will go through these figures with you to help, because it can be a bit confusing to start getting a handle on this. But have a play, it's really worthwhile. The one other tip I had for you, which I thought was important, for those investors out there with Airbnb income, we've had huge wins lately with clients with Airbnb income, where one of our lenders is accepting 90% of the Airbnb rental income, where often lenders are accepting 80% or 75% or some down to even 50% for Airbnb. And they're only taking a general 10% of expenses, not what's appearing in your tax return, because they recognize that most people claim a huge amount out of their Airbnb income. So if you're an investor with Airbnb income and want to be assessed by us, please contact us and we'd love to help you. If there's anything else, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Lovely to see you. And we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful week.